Speaking of things that you would think you'd only see in your dreams, by the way, have you ever seen the video of these two guys playing soccer on Legos with a bowling ball?
I've seen people trying to play soccer barefoot with a bowling ball. I don't remember whether or not they were. They must have been with Legos. I don't remember the
They
Lego
were
part.
spreading
But
Legos.
you know, some people just want to punish themselves, and those are a couple examples.
Yeah.
Some other examples apparently are the Miami Dolphins higher ups for their new head coach hire.
Yeah, Jeff Hafley. It. You know what this feels like? Oh my God, what was that guy's name? What was the head coach of the Houston Texans before they hired DeMeco Ryans? No, no,
Is
no.
that Bill O'Brien?
No. It wasn't Bill O'Brien. Actually, it was after. It was okay. Let me slow down. It was after Bill O'Brien and before Lovie Smith, right? Because they went from Lovie Smith to DeMeco Ryans. Who was the head coach between Bill O'Brien and Lovie Smith? That's what that
So
feels like to me.
I'm trying to pull up their as far as their history. So
David
before
Culley.
Lovie Smith was David Culley.
David Culley. That's what this reminds me of. That's what this reminds me of. It reminds me of them hiring the most no-name guy that they could think of.
And I mean, I'm pulling up like his history.
Yeah.
He was, assistant like quarterback coach or wide receiver coach for a number of years in the NFL. And then 1 year as the Houston Texans head coach in 2021 and has never worked for anyone since.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Jeff Hafley, 2 years as the Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator, was head coach of Boston College for 4 years before that. It's an interesting one, certainly. And that's not the only one that we'll touch on. It's that one, John Harbaugh to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Robert Saleh to the Titans. Since we've brought up Jeff Hafley first, again, it just feels uneventful. It could work. It absolutely could work. But after firing Mike McDaniel, which I think most people could agree was the right decision.
Yes.
And they probably need to move on at quarterback, right? I think we're kind of under the impression that Tua Tagovailoa is not the guy.
Although next year they might have no choice because of his contract, depending on what they want to do.
Because of his contract. I mean, like I said, the word I would use to describe this hire is uneventful, Josh. That's what I would say.
We have a bridge quarterback for a coach is what this is turning into.
Sort of what it feels like, yeah.
Yeah, because I praised the Packers defense on the show many times because last year they were a top 5 defense and then they added Micah Parsons.
Right.
Now, obviously you lost Micah Parsons with the injury, but then the entire defense fell apart to end the season.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, for not being able to recover with what was a really good defense from losing one guy, unable to figure out ways to adjust and recover, gets promoted.
Yeah.
It's almost as crazy as their head coach, Matt LaFleur, getting a contract extension.
Right.
Which we already know how I feel about that.
Yes.
So this to me is the Miami Dolphins' way of saying, we know we're not going to be able to do anything for at least another year because of Tua's contract. So we already know we cannot lure one of the best coaches in. We're going to get a guy, get him for cheap, roll a dice. If he works, awesome. If not, whatever. No one wanted to come here with Tua's contract anyway. Now we'll go with a new crop of coaches the following year or two, a year and a half, 2 years.
Right.
And we're no longer dealing with Tua. Who wants to rebuild us? And so that's like the mindset, because when we're seeing these coaches that are out there, or coordinators that should be getting the jobs, your Minters, your Flores, your Shulas, and then we didn't know this guy's name.
Yeah.
And he got one of the head coaching spots.
Yeah.
Of a team that does have a few good players on it, by all means.
Right. This is not a team, I think, that needs to tank or anything of that nature. Now I think they're obviously a leg behind because of the Bills and the Patriots clearly having a stranglehold on that division.
Wait, why didn't you say Jets? Oh.
I think
we
know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
I think we know.
Yeah, we know. We know.
You mean the team that Dante Moore deliberately tried to avoid by going back to college for another year?
I think my favorite tweet with that was someone like, Dante Moore, if you're not with the Jets when we're 3-14, just wait until next year when we're 3-14.
Right. Yep. Exactly. If you ain't with us at our worst, you can't be with us at our best, which is both.
Which is the same as the worst.
So yeah, again, uneventful hire for me. Not anything to write home about. I mean, I think, I think you're right about the bridge thing. Like you said, if it works out, great. If it doesn't, then nobody cares.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Saleh of the Titans. You said you really liked that.
I love it. I love it.
Tell me why.
Because, again, I really feel he deserved another chance as a head coach based on what happened with the Jets. The Titans have a couple good defensive players, and to add that mind, and now he's going there knowing, hey, I'm coming here to continue this rebuild. You drafted your quarterback. Now, granted, this is the third quarterback in like 6 or 7 years that they drafted to try to rebuild, but we're trying to work with him. And he definitely showed flashes of being a good quarterback in his rookie year.
Yeah.
So you got a high pick. You're going to start to rebuild. He knows he's going to be given some time to build because they know going in there, all right, right now, you got Jacksonville at the top, and Houston obviously is right there with them, while Houston, though, is questioning their quarterback now. Mm-hmm. So they know that the Titans are not going to compete with them immediately. He's going to have time to make that team his own.
Right.
And he is the type of guy, I mean, we see with, the time of the Niners, you have, at times Brock Purdy was great, and at times he was a manageable quarterback.
Yeah.
And no matter how many injuries you were building up on the defensive side, he would still find schemes and ways to make them compete and stay in the games.
Right.
Having that mindset of the next man up mentality, while it's always said in team huddles in any sport, there are so few people that truly live up to it. And Robert Saleh has defined next man up.
Yeah.
So I really think this could work to help build the Titans to something.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, honestly, the way that this looks to me is it feels like the Titans are trying to recreate Mike Vrabel. Like, that's kind of what I think is going on.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because they clearly, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that they made a mistake when they fired Mike Vrabel. Like, everybody thought, like, what in the world are you doing? They saw, like, you saw what those rosters looked like with Ryan Tannehill as their primary quarterback. And Mike Vrabel was claiming the number 1 seed in the AFC with those teams. Like, it was remarkable.
Don't forget that not only they dropped the ball on Mike Vrabel, they dropped the ball with Derrick Henry, and they dropped the ball with Malik Willis.
Right.
But go on.
Well, they certainly did. But then when they hired Brian Callahan, it was like, it felt like Jeff Hafley, right? Like, it just feels like, okay, like that's what you're doing now? Like that's the direction you want to go in? This feels like they're going for the same thing that Mike Vrabel does, right? Robert Saleh is the kind of guy where he's obviously a defensive-minded head coach. This is somebody that you don't have a doubt that he can motivate men, right? Like this is somebody that I think players like playing for. He's a bit of a player's guy. He's a rah-rah guy. And I think the Jets couldn't get out of their own way with him, right? Everybody, when the Jets hired Robert Saleh, it wasn't that the Jets made a bad hire. The Jets were applauded for hiring Robert Saleh. Like that was like, wow, they actually made the right choice. So then he goes back to San Francisco, proves that he can, he shakes off all the Jet crap, and now he's back in the fold as a serviceable potential head coach. So I agree with this. I'm with you 100%. The only thing that I would have objected to potentially is maybe grabbing somebody with a stronger offensive background to pair with Cam Ward. That would have been my only pushback. But if you can bring in an offensive coordinator that, can develop quarterbacks, can, be a little bit innovative in the offense, then having Robert Saleh to solidify your defense, motivate your guys, and kind of recreate what Mike Vrabel did for you in years past, that I think could work out really well for the Titans. I agree with you. I think it's a great fit.
Yeah.
John Harbaugh to the Giants. This feels like it was a home run on all fronts. That just makes so much sense to me. It really, really does. Like, this is Tom Coughlin. This is them getting their coach for the next 15 years. Like, I don't see how this goes badly. I just don't.
It all depends on how much of the input the GM or owner have. Now, if John Harbaugh gets his way where they should not have much of any input, then I agree with you. This is a complete home run. It's going to be interesting because Harbaugh is going from a quarterback known for running and dealing with a number of injuries to a younger quarterback who's known for running and dealing with a lot of injuries. You also got a running back coming back from a very serious injury and a star wide receiver coming back from a very serious injury. So the physical skill on the offensive side, honestly, is truly up in the air because some players are just as good, if not better, when they come back from these serious injuries. Some are never the same.
Yeah.
They already got a strong young defense.
Yeah.
You got that going for you. You also got a division. I know we talked earlier how the AFC North is totally up for grabs. Well, the NFC East, Dallas is on the rise. Washington will be healthy. And Philly is on the decline. So I'm not saying the Giants in a year are suddenly going to take over this division, but now you're adding someone with the pedigree of John Harbaugh leading the way. There is no coach in that division that can light a candle to John Harbaugh.
If Jackson Dart is any semblance of serviceable, the Giants are going to be close to a playoff team next year. I'm telling you right now. If they get Malik Neighbors back, Cam Scatterbo comes back.
Yep.
Okay.
Theo Johnson is a very nice tight end.
He's a very nice tight end. That is to me one of the best defensive lines in football. It really, really is. With Thibodeau and Burns and Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter, like that's a really, really good defensive line.
Yeah.
If they can A, figure out what to do in the draft, and B, see if Jackson Dart is a real legitimate player, which honestly I don't know that he isn't. Like there were moments where you saw Jackson Dart play and you're like, okay, Like, that's why they took him in the first round. I mean, I'm with you. I think Philly's on the decline. Washington, I don't know what they're going to be, right? I genuinely don't know what they're going to be. They went from in the NFC Championship games to one of the worst teams in football this year.
Yep.
And the Cowboys are the Cowboys. I mean, you have no idea what you're getting from them on any given year. Probably a whole lot of pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So is it impossible for John Harbaugh to accelerate the process here and make it so that the Giants are fairly legit next year? Maybe not a Super Bowl contender or anything of that sort, but a legitimate improvement from what they've been in years past? I think so.
Yeah. I mean, they absolutely could. I mean, I could see the Giants as far as how like the Panthers were this year. Mm-hmm. Like they just wouldn't get out of the way, made some upsets, had some comebacks, and found their way to get into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. The Giants have the potential of doing something like that next year.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the last one, Kevin Stefanski. So, like I said, the reason I'm laughing is because this came a little bit out of thin air. I didn't expect this to happen so quickly. This also wasn't a destination for him that I thought that was on the front of the brain. It does make things interesting though for Michael Penix, does it not? I mean, that's a really interesting pairing that we could find out whether or not it works pretty quickly. That's how I saw it.
I mean, I love the thought of Stefanski to Atlanta, and honestly, we've seen what he's been able to do with like 15 different quarterbacks in Cleveland.
Right.
We went over, I think it might have been last week, like every quarterback that started for him during his time in Cleveland.
Yes. And there was 178 of them.
Right. And 176 of them were feasible. Michael Penix is in make or break time at this rate.
I agree.
And whether it's Michael Penix, whether it's Kirk Cousins, whether you actually try to make a trade for someone like a Mac Jones or Malik Willis because you just don't think Penix has what it takes for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Atlanta, as much as I like Raheem Morris, and I do think he should at some point, maybe not right now, but should get another shot at it as the head coach. Putting Stefanski there, Atlanta's winning the NFC South next year. Mm-hmm. I already have them written in as winning that division because we talked earlier as far as like in Buffalo, as far as the coach to take you over a hump and something. Yeah. I think Stefanski with this roster in Atlanta is that type of guy to get him over the hump, to make them, not saying Super Bowl contenders, but to make them, away from the kings of mediocrity that the Falcons have been for so long. Yeah. So many 7-9 or 7-10, 8-9, 9-8 years. So having him to try to make Michael Penix be a put up or shut up with one of the best running backs in the league, couple good weapons on offense, a solid defense again.
Two good young pass rushers and Jalen Walker and James Pierce.
Again, this is so far most of these coaching hires. I've loved the fits. I love Tennessee. I love Atlanta. Yeah. I love Harbaugh with the Giants, Dolphins, whatever. Do you find it interesting though that with as far as the coaching openings, as far as like reports of, hey, this guy's going to talk with this team or this team, mm-hmm. Have we heard anyone go to Arizona?
No. I don't know that is Arizona an attractive job at the moment? I don't know that it is.
You have Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, and that's it.
Right. And you have to figure out what you're doing with
you got to get someone as the coach.
That you do.
Yeah.
Right. But I mean, you got to figure out what you're doing with Kyler Murray too, because I don't know what that situation is. Kyler Murray might be a quarterback next year, but I don't even know who it's for. Like Kyler Murray could be the quarterback of the Jets next year. Like I have no idea.
He absolutely could. I mean, but it's not like they're going to get much. I mean, you're going to get at best a 5th round pick. At best, because of his contract.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if they were to trade, and I know we kind of joked about it on here as far as why don't you just do Kyler for Tua straight up and see what happens?
That's not stupid.
It's getting closer and closer to, actually, why not?
Yeah, right.
Because neither team is going to go anywhere next year.
Yeah.
Why not? And if one of them revives their career, great. Good for that franchise.
100%. 100%.